How's it going, future crypto millionaires? It's your boy, the Gale, back at it again with another video. So, if you didn't know, there was a recent interview with Rhys, the communications manager at Ecomi. It was held on a Twitch stream last night, and I watched the rewatch or the run of it just now, and I took some notes on it. So basically, this video is going to be a recap of basically the main points that Rhys touched upon. I took some notes, so I'm just going to be reading off my notes. I'm going to link the video in the description of this video, so you can watch it there for yourself if you'd like. I personally like hearing words directly from the horse's mouth, so yeah, if you guys want to do that, that's cool. But if you want to hang out with me and listen to my recap, that's what this video is going to be. So before I do that, let me shout out the guys who actually made the video. So this is the DGen News Network. Give these guys a follow if you want more Omi and crypto news. Yeah, the live stream is pretty good, so I subscribed myself and I will be watching. So without further ado, let's get into it. Yeah, so Rhys talks about how their initial product was the hardware wallet, and then they just built from there. And he goes on to say something about everything will be an NFT before long, which is a bullish sentiment from him. That's always good to hear. And then he goes on to talk about potential location-based drops. So he gives an example of like, let's say there's a Batman in the middle of Chicago or something like that, and when you walk under him, you get airdropped an NFT. So that's an interesting concept right there. So I think of like basketball games, NBA games. Since I'm in Chicago, I can think of like the Chicago Bull NFT. And then you walk past him and you get like some kind of bobblehead NFT or something like that. So there's a lot of applications that can be applied to that. Then he goes on to mention like how many mints per drop and stuff like that. And he says that David is ultimately in control of that. David Yu, the CEO. It depends on the drops and the popularity of the drops, and they'll determine how many is going to be minted and stuff. And then he mentions that the app is amazing now, but it's nothing compared to what it's going to be. So that's a bullish comment there. He also says that customization of the digital space is going to be more prevalent. In other words, we're going to be able to make this showroom that I'm in right now more customizable. I'm assuming like layers, like maybe more stairs and stuff like that. So maybe there's an upstairs up here and stuff like that. So that'd be good once we can have more options in terms of personalizing our showrooms. What else? He mentioned that they have a marketing company on board, but they really haven't needed to use them yet because the app's not ready for marketing like that. The organic growth of word of mouth alone has been enough so far, and it's probably what we need because we don't want to grow too quicker than the app can handle the users and stuff. Let's see here. He mentions that pretty much everybody's reaching out to Veve right now. I guess he's talking about actors and TV personalities and whoever else, because they understand the NFT boom is real and they just want to see how they can participate and possibly promote themselves on it. And he says that licensors will get royalties, so that'll encourage promoting Veve and all that. So it's a nice little loop of, it just makes sense. It's a nice business strategy. When they get on the app, they're naturally going to want to promote the app because they're going to get royalties from publicity and the action or whatever. He mentions that fundamentally, if there's no app, then there's no token. So in other words, the Omi token is pretty much dependent on the users and the purchasing of the tokens and the buybacks and all that. And he goes on to mention about the slow burn of the tokens over time. So if you understand the tokenomics, then you understand that the price will basically increase over time as NFTs are being sold out, which will probably continue to happen. Yeah. So then they asked him about the Go chain, and he goes on to say that the Go chain was pretty much the best solution at the time, about 3 to 4 years ago. But they are actively looking for other options, and with those options comes interoperability, which means taking the NFTs and possibly like transferring them over to like the Decentraland or basically anywhere you want, which is what we want ultimately, because that'll give our NFTs even more utility and it'll truly be decentralized at that point. And whether or not the Omi tokens will be a 1-to-1 swap or a 1-to-10 swap, that'll be determined at that time, but it's really not that big of a deal. It is what it is. Something really cool that he mentioned is that they have another hardware wallet coming out besides the first one that they initially were working on. And that wallet will be VV specific. So we'll be able to transfer our NFTs to that wallet as well as Omi tokens, and that'll be it. And he said it'll be shelf ready retail for the retail. It'll be in like tech stores or gaming stores. And there'll possibly be a redeeming code where you can get like an NFT, like so pretty much like a promotion type thing, like when you scan this code, get your free NFT. He also said that there could be like wallets for Tokidoki specific, the Tokidoki brand specific, so like a Mermacorno only wallet or a Batman wallet, and it'll be much more affordable. So the price he mentioned was $29.99, but that's always subject to change, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. He goes on to mention that there's new developments happening every week. With every drop, they're getting more data, so they can optimize the app and everything. And then he says eventually they want to get to a point where there's multiple drops a week, which we've heard before. And then he says about the money transmitter license. That's what they need to turn Omis into gems, into fiats, into Omi, and vice versa. That's still in progress over the coming months, but it's in the works. And then he goes into detail about the Master Collector program, which is pretty cool. He says that's how they're going to gamify the app. So that's where the users are going to be able to earn badges and awards. And they're going to also be able to pinpoint like who's the biggest Batman collector or who's the biggest Tokidoki collector. And you could be a master collector of that particular series and brand. So that's going to be cool. Basically, you're going to be able to level up through app participation by liking, commenting, and sharing stuff on the app. And it basically just incentivizes app participation. So it'll be a nice little loop of people coming back to the app to get rewards and, purchasing on the app. And it just keeps people engaged. The people on the stream asked about in-app trading. And Rhys says that eventually you'll be able to make 3-for-1 trades or 2-for-1 trades. Like if I want to trade 2 Mermacornos for this Batman, and you can do that all within the app. I'm guessing it'll be smart contract based, and we'll also be able to contact people directly through the app. So like, let's say I see somebody who has a Mojo Jojo that I like, I'll be able to directly message him and talk, go from there. They asked about the staking, and basically the staking will, I don't think you're going to be able to earn Omi specifically just from staking, but you will be able to earn something like golden gems. He mentioned, so that's like a special kind of gem where you might be able to make special purchases only with those gems if you stake certain amount of tokens for like a certain amount of time. The details aren't specific on that yet, but that's going to be cool. You're going to be able to purchase special skins for your NFTs and stuff. And then he goes to mention that they have partners with Pixium Games and Red Button Games. I haven't heard of those before, but that's something to look into on a later date. And then he talks about the Viviverse. So there's basically going to be like a whole other world that we can be more engaged with our NFTs with. There's going to be land, and we're going to be able to drive our cars to other friends' showrooms or land or something like that. And if you haven't seen Ready Player One, I would suggest you go watch that. But second, he says that's what comes to mind. Like, that's the vision, Ready Player One. And if you know what Ready Player One is and you know what the Oasis is, then that's going to be huge if they are able to come anywhere close to that. He talks about customizable showrooms where we're going to be able to make scenes. Like if you have a dark alley for Batman, like if you're watching the screen right now, you're going to be able to make scenes like that, but even more customizable. He talks about possible stereos in your showrooms where there's NFT music, and artists will be able to like promote their stuff, and possible like TVs and couches. So basically a man cave or a woman cave, and it's going to be pretty awesome if they can, or when they implement that. He mentions that there's tons of announcements coming besides the big one that we're all waiting for. They have hundreds of brands already on deck, and they have like enough NFTs for the next 5 years to make multiple drops weekly for the next 5 years. So yeah, that's pretty much covered. Then he goes on to mention the Artist Alley, which is really cool. That, he says, is going to be curated artists, pretty much premium artists. These artists might have VV specific releases, as well as I guess common releases, or like more not VV specific. Basically, this is a bit of speculation, but I know that David Ewens is friends with Ron English and his artwork, so I can see possibly Ron English being on the Artist Alley at some point, stuff like this. And they mentioned that they're going to have digital and possibly physical purchases available, and if you buy the digital, then you get like so many % chances of being able to purchase the physical. And they talk about upcoming artists and exposures and stuff like that. Exposure for the upcoming artists. They talk about 3D artwork and stuff. So that's something to look out for. That's a whole new revenue source right there. So VV has tons of room to grow. And and then they go into talking about fighting NFTs. So basically, let's say you get the Batman and Joker together, then that activates like a special Easter egg action where they start to go at it. And yeah, they talk about cross-fighting NFTs where let's say you can get Batman and Mega Man fighting, or Sonic and Mario fighting. So basically like a Smash Brothers type thing where you get all these kind of brands and you can make them interact with each other. So that'll be cool. And then he goes into technology that some phones have, where you can make a 3D map of the room, and after the phone gets the 3D map, you can have like Batman like diving off of a desk or something like that continuously. So basically in a loop. So that'd be cool to see. And I believe, yeah, that's where my notes end. But so from the sounds of it, VV is just getting started. We're super early to the party, and as I mentioned in my previous videos, all we got to do is hold. now is the perfect buying opportunity. It's still under a cent. This is not financial advice, but if you see what I see, then now is the best time to get in, because once the price gets above a cent and once people finally start catching on to this, yeah, we're gonna be dancing like her right there. But but yeah, we won't have an opportunity like this again. And if this company is as big as we think, I can't emphasize enough just to do your research, do your due diligence, and make the right choice that's right for you. I can't really, like, foresight is extremely important when it comes to investing. And if you can't see where a company is going, then you won't be able to pull through the rough times. And right now, they are just building the foundation. Like, we haven't even started on the windows or the doors. Like, this is just the foundation, and they have so much already. So yeah, as an investor, hearing all of that gets me really excited. So I guess that's all that I got to say in this video. And that's my recap, guys. If you've made it this far, thanks for hanging out with me. Yeah, we might hear some news tomorrow about a possible drop on Monday or Tuesday of this coming week. And any day now we should be getting that big announcement. So just keep your eyes and ears peeled. And with that, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy with a lot of opinions. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. Peace out.